Hey guys, and welcome at Test and Review. Today I wanted to make a follow-up video about the Lenovo ThinkPad E16, the ThinkPad E16, and I've been using this laptop for the past couple of weeks, around a month, and just wanted to give you some feedback about the performance and some consumer thoughts in regards to the E16 and how it has been performing in the last month. And I'm gonna make follow-up reviews of this laptop in the upcoming months as well, so you have a clear idea what is this laptop series about. And before we proceed, let me kindly ask you to subscribe to my channel so I would be able to proceed with these consumer product reviews. That would help me a lot, and of course hit the bell notification icon. So let's proceed. First of all, let's take a quick look. As you can see, the ThinkPad E16 is a fingerprint magnet. A lot of fingerprints. I tried to wipe it a bit before this review, but this is not a paid review, this is a consumer review, so I wanted to show you all aspects of living with this laptop on a daily basis. So, as I mentioned, it is truly a fingerprint magnet, at least the top of the laptop, and the bottom is not that much, but nobody cares about the bottom except for the cooling performance, which is more or less on an average level. For this size laptop, I would expect this laptop to be cooler, especially with the Core Ultra first generation processor. I know it's a first generation processor. It is a bit warmer than a second generation Ultra series, but still I would expect it because of the bigger cockpit of this laptop to be a bit more cooler, but nothing major. The processor here is, let me open the lid. The processor here is 155H Intel Core Ultra with the integrated Intel Arc graphics. So for this processor, the Arc graphics chipset is 8 core, and for the lower 125H is 7 core processor, I believe 6 or 7, I think it's 7. And for the higher versions, again, it's an 8 core, 8 cores dedicated to graphics performance integrated in the main chipset. So how is it performing? It depends on what you're using this laptop for. For browsing, office, communication, like Microsoft Teams and Zoom calls and stuff like that, it is going to be more than fine. But for heavy graphic performance, I have Adobe Cloud, so the Creative Cloud, so I have tested it with numerous programs like the Adobe Edition, the Premiere Pro, the Photoshop. So a lot of testing with this laptop in the last couple of months, actually 1 month to be precise, and it manages. It's not happy when you're giving it hard time for, I wouldn't say heavy graphics, but medium, because for heavy graphics you're not gonna be able to use this laptop as it is not intended for heavy graphic editing, like heavy 4K files or stuff like that. No, it's not meant for that. For that you're gonna need more powerful video performance. The processor would be enough, but the video is going to struggle. This is the 32 gigabytes of RAM, so enough RAM from my projects, no issues there whatsoever. One complaint I have in regards to this laptop is because it's quite a bulky thing. It feels heavy in the hand, and in my backpack I always feel like I have something heavy on my back when carrying it around. So this is not a mobile laptop. The E16, yes, it has a big screen, but it's not a laptop that you're gonna carry around easily. So I know it's not a desktop replacement either, but there are more compact solutions in this segment, like in the 15.6 and 16-inch laptops. This is not the lightest of this, but one positive here I should mention, that it feels very sturdy. It feels very sturdy compared to, especially with my yoga laptops that I had. You can check my videos, my previous videos in my channel. I have reviewed a couple of Lenovo yoga laptops which feel like toys compared to this one. This feels much sturdier. So one good thing to mention here. Keyboard. We have the keyboard here with the signature nipple. And what can I say? Lenovo have some pretty good keyboards around their model line. This is somewhere in the middle. It's comfortable. It's not very loud, but I wouldn't put it on top of my list. I have used more comfortable keyboards. I can recall a couple of Dell laptops that had more comfortable keyboards than that. And the trackpad, it's taken out probably from a laptop like 10 years ago. It feels outdated. It's not precise. Thankfully, it's not that loud, but that's not a trackpad that I would put in a business computer. And now the displays popped up, and I should comment on that. It doesn't have very high resolution. The brightness is also not that high, but compared to the cheap models that I've tested from Lenovo, it's usable in direct sunlight. Unlike these cheap Lenovo business laptops that are totally unusable in daylight. This display, on the other hand, is usable in daylight. So they thought of that when they didn't put multimedia display. It's very far from multimedia laptop, not only from the display, but because of the two speakers tuned by Harman. To be honest, watching a movie or clips on this computer is not a pleasure. It's once more, compared to the Lenovo Yogas that had 4 speakers, that you could clearly hear some bass. Here we will have a very flat sound that is not that loud. So this is definitely, the E16 is definitely meant to be an office laptop, not a multimedia one. So audio, pretty mediocre, flat sound, and I would recommend you to connect it to Bluetooth device immediately after buy it, if it would be headset, external speakers, or whatever you have there. Connection options. Let's see the connection options here. So here you have 2 Type-Cs and Thunderbolt, 1 Type-A USB and HDMI, and a 3.5mm headphone jack, which is a good thing. On the other hand, you have 1 additional USB-A, an Ethernet connection, and a Kensington lock. So, do you guys see something missing for a big laptop? I don't know if it's hidden somewhere, but laptops above 15 inches usually have a card readers. I didn't find the one here. If you guys know if it has a card reader somewhere, please let me know where to find it. But that's, for me, that's a real joke if they skipped putting a card reader in such a big laptop. Like, even for business purposes, for office work, you could easily add a card reader in such a big laptop. But unfortunately, I cannot see it anywhere on this laptop. So connection wise, it's not the best. It's okay. You have enough Type-C, Type-A, Ethernet connection. So again, targeting business users. So camera again sits somewhere in the middle. Out of the laptops that I've tested, it's not awful. Even in low light, it performs relatively well in video calls. So camera is okay, and yeah, I wouldn't complain if I have some Teams meetings or anything like that. It has a clear picture, so the camera is just fine. Just don't imagine to use it for some multimedia, taking pictures or stuff like that. Again, this is meant to be a business laptop. Yes, pretty heavy business laptop, but still a business office laptop. And yeah, this leads me to my conclusion about this Lenovo ThinkPad laptop. I tried to share as much information from the last month. The battery is holding around 4-5 hours at most, which is not the best in class, but in general, from what you just saw, we can say that is an average business laptop. It doesn't sit on the low end of the ThinkPad series, but it's far from the best performing ThinkPads that I have tested and that are for sale out there. They already have with the second generation ultra processors that are much better in the battery performance. They're lasting way over 10 hours, most of the laptops, and the smaller ones I have heard like 15 up to 20 hours, which is just insane. But the first generation is not so efficient, the first generation ultra processors. And yeah, that's my feedback. If you have any question, don't forget to drop me a comment. I would be happy to answer, and stay tuned, subscribe. Until I see you later in my next videos. Thank you and bye bye.